Hikers find human remains inside a boot in a wooden area in North Collins yesterday. Now, officials have uncovered a body.
Belief can be a powerful force. No one knows that better than the people who are sure they've seen Bigfoot.
Seriously, look how big it is. I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
In April 2022, a hiker wandered into the deep of Hart, the Sawtooth Wilderness. He stumbled upon something that froze him in place, something so unsettling, so beyond human comprehension, that his very breath caught in his throat. Scattered remains, long abandoned, rusted, decayed belongings, left untouched for years. And then, a camera that held secrets the world was never meant to see. But the most chilling discovery? A single, haunting image. A figure lurking between the trees, twisted, shadowy, and wrong. What did the hiker really find that day? And what unseen force has been walking around in the wilderness all these years? Let's uncover the terrifying truth. The mysterious discovery. Welcome back to the Cryptid Report. In April 2020, a hunter hiking the rugged expanse of Idaho's Sawtooth Wilderness came upon an unexpected find, scattered skeletal remains partially concealed by the undergrowth. The discovery, made in a remote and densely forested area, would later be confirmed as belonging to Todd Hofflander, a seasoned outdoorsman who had vanished without a trace a decade earlier. Alongside the remains were personal items that told a silent story of survival and mystery: a weathered backpack, a torn sleeping bag, and a corroded camera, its lens clouded by years of exposure to the elements. These artifacts, though weathered by time, would become crucial pieces in unraveling the mystery of Todd's disappearance. Todd Hofflander had been an experienced hunter and hiker, familiar with the challenges of the wilderness. On September 25, 2010, he went out on a hunting trip with his friend Jeff and his loyal black Labrador Ruby. The trio ventured deep into the Sawtooth Wilderness, a vast and unforgiving landscape known for its jagged peaks and dense forests. However, the trip took an unexpected turn when Todd began experiencing severe knee pain, a condition that left him unable to continue. Reluctantly, he decided to stay behind at their campsite while Jeff pressed on with the hunt, planning to return later with his father to assist Todd. Ruby remained by Todd's side, a faithful companion in the solitude of the wilderness. When Jeff and his father returned to the campsite on September 28th, they were met with an unsettling scene. Todd was gone, and the only sign of his presence was Ruby, who appeared distressed but unharmed. The dog's agitated state raised immediate concerns, and a frantic search ensued. Despite the efforts of search and rescue teams, which included helicopters, trained dogs, and ground crews scouring the rugged terrain, no trace of Todd was found. The wilderness, vast and unyielding, seemed to have swallowed him whole. Over the years, his disappearance became a haunting mystery, leaving his family and friends grappling with unanswered questions and lingering grief. The discovery of Todd's remains in 2020 brought a somber resolution to the decade-long mystery, but it also unearthed new questions. Among the items recovered was the corroded camera, a relic of Todd's final days. Investigators meticulously worked to extract data from the camera's memory card, hoping it might shed light on his last moments. When they succeeded, the images revealed a haunting glimpse into Todd's final hours. Most of the photos were mundane, shots of the wilderness, the campsite, and Ruby. But one image stood out. Among the trees, barely visible in the dim light, was a shadowy figure. Its proportions were unnervingly inhuman, its presence inexplicable. The figure appeared to be mysterious, watching, its form distorted and otherworldly. The photo, grainy and indistinct, offered no clear answers but deepened the mystery surrounding Todd's fate. The discovery of the remains and the bizarre photograph reignited interest in Todd's case, prompting investigators to revisit the details of his disappearance. The Sawtooth Wilderness, with its rugged beauty and inherent dangers, had always been a place of both wonder and peril. For Todd, it had become a place of no return. The knee pain that had forced him to stay behind, the loyal dog who had remained by his side, and the shadowy figure captured in the final photograph all wove together a story that was as tragic as it was enigmatic. While the identification of his remains brought closure to his family, the questions surrounding his final moments and the unsettling image on the camera left a lingering sense of unease, a reminder of the wilderness's enduring mysteries. The investigation into Todd's disappearance and the discovery of his remains highlighted the challenges of navigating and surviving in such a remote and unforgiving environment. The Sawtooth Wilderness, though breathtakingly beautiful, is a place where even the most experienced outdoorsmen can find themselves at the mercy of nature. Todd's story serves as a poignant reminder of the risks inherent in venturing into the wild, as well as the enduring mysteries that can remain hidden in its depths. The shadowy figure in the photograph, whether a trick of light and shadow or something more inexplicable, adds a dark layer to an already haunting tale, ensuring that Todd Hofflander's story will not soon be forgotten. The initial search efforts in 2010 had been extensive, involving multiple agencies and volunteers. Helicopters crisscrossed the skies, while ground teams combed through the dense forests and rocky terrain. Despite their efforts, the wilderness proved to be an insurmountable adversary. Todd's disappearance remained one of the most baffling cases in the region's history, with theories ranging from animal attacks to accidental falls. Yet, none of these explanations fully accounted for the absence of any trace until the discovery in 2020. The remote location and the condition of the bones required careful handling to ensure proper identification. Forensic experts worked diligently to piece together the evidence, using dental records and DNA analysis to confirm the identity. The personal belongings found at the scene provided additional clues, painting a picture of Todd's final days. The backpack, though weathered, still contained essential supplies, suggesting he had not abandoned his gear. The sleeping bag, torn and frayed, hinted at a struggle or prolonged exposure to the elements. But it was the camera that captured the most attention, its corroded exterior hiding a memory card that held the key to a haunting mystery. The shadowy figure in the photograph has since become the subject of intense speculation. Some believe it to be a trick of light and shadow, a mere illusion created by the camera's aging technology. Others suggest it could be evidence of something more mysterious, a predator, human or otherwise, that played a role in Todd's disappearance. Regardless of the explanation, the image has added an eerie layer to an already haunting tale, ensuring that Todd Hofflander's story will not soon be forgotten. What is it about the Sawtooth Wilderness that draws adventurers in, only to leave some lost forever? Was Todd's fate sealed the moment his knee gave out, or was there something more sinister lurking in the shadows? Why did his loyal dog refuse to leave his side? Was it devotion, or did it sense something unseen? And what about that eerie figure captured in his final photograph? Was it merely a trick of the light, or proof of something unexplainable? Even with the discovery of his remains, do we truly have all the answers? Or does the wilderness still hold secrets we may never uncover? The suspicious circumstances. As the investigation into Todd Hofflander's disappearance unfolded, suspicions began to surface, particularly around his hunting companion Jeff. Jeff's behavior during the initial search and subsequent interviews raised red flags among investigators. He failed a polygraph test, a detail that cast a shadow of doubt over his account of events. Todd's wife, Julie, described Jeff as unreliable and aggressive, adding to the growing unease surrounding his involvement. Despite these concerns, there was no concrete evidence linking Jeff to Todd's disappearance, leaving investigators with more questions than answers. The case took a strange turn when hikers exploring the Sawtooth Wilderness stumbled upon Ruby, Todd's loyal black Labrador, wandering alone in the forest. The dog was alive but appeared disoriented and was missing her collar and dog pack as if someone had intentionally removed them. Ruby's discovery reignited hope that she might hold clues to Todd's fate. When investigators brought Ruby back to the area where Todd had last been seen, her behavior was deeply unsettling. She exhibited extreme fear, barking incessantly, trembling and refusing to move forward. Her reaction suggested that something traumatic had occurred in that location, though what exactly remained unclear. Desperate for answers, Todd's family pursued every possible lead, no matter how unconventional. They even sought the help of a clairvoyant, who claimed to have received a vision about Todd's fate. According to the clairvoyant, Todd had been killed by a tall man and buried near Seven Devils Mountain, a rugged and remote area within the Sawtooth Wilderness. Authorities, though skeptical, followed the lead, conducting a thorough search of the area. Despite their efforts, no evidence of Todd's remains or any signs of foul play were found. The search yielded nothing. By October 2021, the case was officially closed, leaving Todd's fate shrouded in mystery. The lack of closure weighed heavily on Todd's family and friends. Julie, in particular, struggled to come to terms with the unanswered questions surrounding her husband's disappearance. She had always found Jeff's behavior suspicious, and his failure of the polygraph test only deepened her doubts. Yet, without concrete evidence, there was little she could do to push the investigation further. The discovery of Ruby, alive but traumatized, offered a glimmer of hope, but the dog's inability to lead them to Todd only added to the frustration. The clairvoyant's vision, while intriguing, ultimately proved to be a dead end. The search near Seven Devils Mountain was exhaustive, with teams combing through the rugged terrain in hopes of finding any trace of Todd. The area's harsh conditions and remote location made the search challenging, and after days of fruitless efforts, investigators were forced to concede that the lead had gone cold. The closure of the case left Todd's family with more questions than answers, and the mystery of his disappearance became a haunting chapter in their lives. Over the years, speculation about what happened to Todd Hofflander continued to swirl. Some believed that Jeff's involvement was more sinister than he let on, pointing to his failed polygraph test and Julie's description of him as aggressive. Others theorized that Todd had succumbed to the wilderness, his knee pain leaving him vulnerable to the elements or wildlife. The discovery of his remains in 2020 brought some closure, but the shadowy figure captured in the final photograph from his camera added the most important layer to the case. Ruby's behavior after being found also fueled speculation. Her extreme fear and refusal to move forward in the area where Todd had last been seen suggested that she had witnessed something traumatic. The missing collar and dog pack added to the mystery, as it appeared someone had intentionally removed them. Yet, without further evidence, these details remained unexplained, leaving investigators and Todd's family to piece together a puzzle with missing pieces. The case of Todd Hofflander serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of the wilderness and the mysteries that can remain hidden within its depths. Despite the best efforts of search and rescue teams, investigators, and even a clairvoyant, the truth about what happened to Todd remains unknown. The discovery of his remains and the eerie photograph from his camera brought some resolution, but the questions surrounding his final moments and the unsettling details of Ruby's behavior ensure that his story will not soon be forgotten. The Sawtooth Wilderness, with its rugged beauty and inherent dangers, continues to guard its secrets, leaving Todd's fate a haunting enigma. The mysterious photo and unanswered questions. A decade after Todd Hofflander vanished into the Sawtooth Wilderness, the discovery of his skeletal remains reopened the case, reigniting both hope and unease among those who had followed his mysterious disappearance. While the identification of his remains brought a measure of closure to his family, the circumstances surrounding his death remained shrouded in uncertainty. The lack of physical evidence made it impossible to determine the exact cause of death, leaving investigators and loved ones with more questions than answers. However, One detail stood out as particularly haunting: the unsettling image retrieved from Todd's corroded camera. The photograph, grainy and indistinct, depicted a shadowy figure among the trees, its proportions unnervingly inhuman. This single image became the focal point of renewed speculation, prompting many to wonder, was this a glimpse of Bigfoot, the legendary creature of North American folklore, or something even more mysterious? The legend of Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, has long captivated the imaginations of those who venture into the dense, uncharted forests of North America. Described as a towering bipedal creature cloaked in dark, matted hair, Bigfoot is said to inhabit remote wilderness areas, leaving behind only fleeting glimpses, eerie vocalizations, and enigmatic footprints. The creature's elusiveness has fueled countless stories, debates, and expeditions, yet definitive proof of its existence remains elusive. The legend gained widespread prominence in 1958 when construction worker Jerry Crew discovered massive 16-inch footprints in California's Six Rivers National Forest. These impressions, deeply embedded in the mud, sparked a wave of intrigue and speculation, cementing Bigfoot's place in popular culture. Over the decades, numerous sightings have been reported, particularly in the Pacific Northwest, where dense forests and rugged terrain provide the perfect backdrop for such tales. The investigation into Bigfoot's existence has long relied on the analysis of physical evidence, including footprints, DNA, and hair samples. These elements form the backbone of scientific research into the creature, and numerous documentaries and researchers have dedicated themselves to examining these clues in detail. One of the most influential documentaries in this regard is Sasquatch: Legend Meets Science, which reveals the physical evidence for Bigfoot with a focus on scientific rigor. The film features Dr. Jeff Meldrum, a renowned anthropologist and one of the leading experts in the field, who has spent decades studying footprint casts attributed to Bigfoot. Meldrum's work highlights the dermal ridges and anatomical details found in these casts, which he argues are too consistent and complex to be the result of hoaxes. His research suggests that the footprints could belong to an unknown primate species, challenging mainstream scientific skepticism. Another critical aspect of Bigfoot research is the analysis of DNA and hair samples. Documentaries like Expedition Bigfoot have taken a high-tech approach to this endeavor, using advanced tools such as thermal imaging, drones, and DNA sequencing to search for evidence. In one episode, the team collected hair samples from a remote forest area and sent them to a laboratory for analysis. While many samples turned out to belong to known animals like bears or deer, a few remained unidentified, leaving open the possibility of an unknown species. Similarly, Finding Bigfoot has featured episodes where researchers collected and analyzed hair samples, often with inconclusive but intriguing results. These efforts underscore the challenges of proving Bigfoot's existence, as contamination and the rarity of viable samples make definitive conclusions difficult to reach. The Patterson-Gimlin film, arguably the most famous piece of Bigfoot evidence, has also been the subject of extensive analysis. Documentaries like the Patterson-Gimlin film, Real or Hoax, dissect the footage frame by frame, examining the creature's gait, proportions, and muscle movements. Experts in biomechanics and primatology have weighed in, with some arguing that the figure's movements are too fluid and anatomically accurate to be a human in a costume. However, skeptics counter that the film lacks sufficient clarity to draw definitive conclusions, highlighting the ongoing debate. Researchers like Dr. Meldrum and organizations such as the North American Wood Ape Conservancy continue to push the boundaries of Bigfoot research, employing rigorous scientific methods to analyze evidence. Their work, along with the insights provided by documentaries, offers a compelling case for the existence of an unknown primate species in North America. Some attribute this scarcity of proof to Bigfoot's purported intelligence and adeptness at avoiding human detection, while others dismiss the legend as a combination of misidentifications, hoaxes, and folklore. Yet, the allure of Bigfoot endures, captivating imaginations and inspiring tales of the unknown lurking just beyond the edges of civilization. However, the case of Todd Hofflander, with its mysterious photograph and unexplained circumstances, has become a focal point for those who believe in the existence of Bigfoot. The shadowy figure captured in Todd's final photograph bears a striking resemblance to descriptions of the creature: tall, humanoid, and cloaked in darkness. The image, though grainy and open to interpretation, has fueled speculation that Todd may have encountered something extraordinary in the Sawtooth Wilderness. Could the figure in the photograph be Bigfoot, watching silently from the trees? The possibility is tantalizing, especially given the region's history of reported sightings and its remote, densely forested landscape. The Sawtooth Wilderness, with its jagged peaks, dense forests, and vast expanses of untouched terrain, is precisely the kind of environment where such a creature could remain hidden for centuries. The discovery of Todd's remains in such a remote location, alongside the unsettling photograph, has led some to theorize that he may have crossed paths with Bigfoot, with tragic consequences. The behavior of Todd's dog, Ruby, adds another layer of intrigue to the mystery. When hikers found Ruby wandering alone in the wilderness, she was missing her collar and dog pack, as if someone or something had removed them. Her extreme fear upon returning to the area where Todd had last been seen, barking, trembling, and refusing to move forward, suggested that she had witnessed something deeply traumatic. Could Ruby's reaction be linked to an encounter with Bigfoot? Dogs are known for their keen senses and ability to detect threats long before humans are aware of them. Ruby's behavior has led some to speculate that she may have sensed the presence of a large, predatory creature, prompting her distress. While this theory remains speculative, it aligns with accounts from other Bigfoot encounters, where animals have exhibited unusual fear or aggression in the presence of the creature. The clairvoyants claim that Todd had been killed by a tall man and buried near Seven Devils Mountain adds another intriguing dimension to the case. While the search of the area turned up nothing, the description of a tall man has led some to draw parallels to Bigfoot, often described as a towering humanoid figure. Could the clairvoyant's vision have been a misinterpretation of an encounter with the creature? The idea is not without precedent, as many who claim to have seen Bigfoot describe it as a massive, human-like being. The clairvoyant's lead, though ultimately fruitless, has fueled speculation that Todd's disappearance may be connected to the legendary creature. The enduring mystery of Todd Hofflander's fate, combined with the unsettling photograph and the behavior of his dog, has made his case a compelling piece of the larger Bigfoot puzzle. While skeptics argue that the shadowy figure in the photograph could be a trick of light, a misidentified animal, or even a person, believers see it as potential evidence of something far more extraordinary. The lack of definitive proof has not deterred those who are convinced that Bigfoot exists, and Todd's story has become a touchstone for those who seek to unravel the mystery of the creature. The Sawtooth Wilderness, with its rugged beauty and inherent dangers, remains a place of both wonder and peril, where the line between reality and legend often blurs. In the end, the truth about Todd's fate and the shadowy figure in his photograph remains elusive. Whether the image depicts Bigfoot, a trick of light, or something else entirely, it has become a symbol of the enduring mystery that surrounds his disappearance. The Sawtooth Wilderness, with its rugged terrain and untamed beauty, continues to guard its secrets, leaving us to wonder what lies hidden in its depths. The legend of Bigfoot, like the story of Todd Hofflander, reminds us that there are still mysteries in the world that defy explanation, inviting us to explore, question, and imagine what might be lurking just beyond the edges of our understanding. The discovery of Todd Hofflander's remains and the horrifying photograph from his camera have left us with more questions than answers. Was the shadowy figure in the image Bigfoot, a creature of legend said to roam these wild lands? Or does it point to something even more mysterious lurking in the Sawtooth Wilderness? The rugged terrain holds secrets that may never be fully uncovered, but the story of Todd's disappearance invites us to wonder, explore, and question what lies beyond the edges of our understanding. What do you think happened to Todd? Could Bigfoot be real, or is there another explanation? Share your thoughts.